Today's Bible story is the story Paul Meets Lydia. Paul met Jesus in a blinding light on the road to Damascus. Paul changed from someone who hated Christians to becoming a Christian who spent the rest of his life telling people about Jesus. What's that, Francis John? You've been thinking about whether it's time to get some new clothes. What have you been thinking of getting? Maybe a new shirt or jumper. Anything else? You were wondering whether you might look good in purple. Definitely. And how about some purple socks to go with it? On our story today, we hear all about Lydia, who was a seller of purple cloth, and how she became a Christian when Paul told her all about Jesus. Are you ready for our story today? Our story, Paul Meets Lydia. Paul and Silas came to the city of Philippi in Greece. There were not enough Jews in the city to make a synagogue for worship, so on the Saturday, the Sabbath, Paul and Silas went outside the city to the river, where they thought they might find a special place of prayer. Here Paul and Silas found a group of women. Paul and Silas sat down and began to speak to them. They told them all about Jesus. One of the women was Lydia. Lydia came from the city of Thyatira. Her job was selling purple cloth. Purple cloth was expensive, so only rich people could buy it. Lydia was rich. She was also a worshipper of God. As Lydia listened to Paul, God helped her to understand what he said. Lydia and all who lived in her home were baptized to show that they were now followers of Jesus. Lydia invited Paul and Silas to stay in her home. She persuaded them to come by saying, "If you think I'm now a true follower of Jesus, come and stay in my house." Paul and Silas did, and Lydia's house became the first church in Philippi. We heard in our story about how Lydia was rich and had a successful business selling purple cloth. But after hearing Paul, she wanted Jesus to be part of her life too, and was baptized to show that she was now a Christian. Lydia didn't just want to say she was a follower of Jesus, she wanted to do something. She had a large home, so she invited Paul and Silas to stay there. As more people in Philippi came to know about Jesus, then it was in Lydia's home that the first church in Philippi began to meet. I wonder, what things or skills have you got that you could use to make a difference to others? Maybe you're good at sport or playing an instrument, making pictures or cakes, or something different. You may like to close your eyes and think about that now. I'm going to say a prayer. If you want to make it your prayer too, then please say amen at the end after me. Dear God, thank you that when Jesus became part of Lydia's life, she was willing to invite others to her home to hear about you too. Help me to learn how you can be part of my life. Amen. What's that, Francis John? You were thinking about what you have that you could use to make a difference to others, and you decided that you could sell some of your honey jars. That sounds nice. You had thought you would clean out the honey in them first, but then you thought people would like the honey too. I think you're right there. Well, thank you for joining us today for the story Paul Meets Lydia. We look forward to you joining us again soon. Goodbye and God bless.